What's up, guys? It's Will here, back again, and this morning I'm here to talk about the Hot Toys Peacemaker figure from the HBO Max series, now called Max, the Peacemaker series, that was overseen by James Gunn. I believe it was written by James Gunn, some of it was directed by James Gunn. It was a very good show. However, the original prototype was not a very good figure. Collectors were not happy. Hot Toys heard the feedback. They changed it. They said, you know what? We are going to make it better, and that they did. So, guys, let's look at this description here from Hot Toys this morning for the blogger photos. So, after the prototype for Peacemaker was unveiled, Hot Toys has refined the details to further describe his innate expressive naturality that will immediately induce you to love the character, no question. That's a mouthful. These exceptional features include the helmeted head with separate rolling eyeballs, arms with seamless elbows, which we will talk about, which looks great, updated face sculpt, and an additional lower faceplate with a closed mouth to make the figure more engaging. Now, come and take a look at the blogger photos of the Peacemaker figure. So, guys, let's see what Hot Toys is telling us. Let's take a look at the blogger photos. I think this looks really good, actually. I don't think this is the best head sculpt I've ever seen from Hot Toys, but I think it's pretty solid. With the helmet on, I think you know who this is. It's unfortunate that we did not get a John Cena head sculpt, but there has to be some sort of licensing issue. When Prime 1 was originally making this statue as well, I believe it was just helmeted for them as well. So there must be something going on with John Cena's likeness, probably in relation to the WWE, would be my best guess. But I know with Costco Reeves, we got a head sculpt, so maybe, I don't know, who knows, maybe there's something else going on with John Cena where he doesn't want his likeness used, or maybe, again, it's a WWE thing. I think overall the tailoring looks great, the body looks great, the proportions look much better than they did prior. Remember, we originally had that figure that was joints, visible joints everywhere. It was not a seamless body. The proportions, he looked really tiny. It just looked really off. I could tell that that one was needed more time in the oven, essentially. It was a little bit rushed out there. That said, I think this one looks pretty good. Look, you can put him with the tongue out if you want. It has a very expressive look. However, I do think with the tongue in, that's probably the look that I would go for. Eagly is actually pretty solid. When I originally looked at the prototype of this figure, I thought Eagly kind of looked kind of Toys R Us, Target toy-ish a little bit, but I'm looking at this, I think Eagly actually looks pretty good now with updated paint apps. This lighting's pretty solid. You can do some cool stuff with Eagly. I think it's a really cool accessory because Eagly was awesome. Eagly was one of the best characters in the show. And look, you can put him on Cena's shoulder like that with Peacemaker. That is great. I think this looks really good, guys. Be very careful with those seamless elbows, because if you keep them bent like that long term, you could run the risk of breakage. I would highly advise against it. If you wanted to put him in some dynamic posing for some photos and then put him back to a more natural, neutral pose, that's what I would recommend. Because if these joints split on you, you're not gonna be happy, and then you're gonna be very upset that you bought this figure. That said, I do think the head sculpt looks better. I still don't see John Cena in here 100%. Again, I don't think this is like a beautiful top line head sculpt, but I do think it is serviceable. With the helmet on, I don't think you're really going to be that nitpicky about the likeness. You see enough of John Cena in there, enough to really get the point across that you know who this is, and it's pretty cool. I think this outfit does have a nice color scheme to it. I think DC did do a good job with it, with the red and the blue and the sort of tan pants. I think it gives it a nice little contrast that makes the outfit definitely stand out on your shelf. The helmet actually seems like it has a lot of detail to it. I don't believe it's a die-cast helmet as far as I'm aware. I'm assuming it's probably some sort of plastic. I don't have it in hand, so I'm not exactly sure. But I will say, I think the tailoring looks good. The stitching looks solid. I think overall the head sculpt is good. It looks a little bit soft, but again, with the helmet on his face, it's not make or break where you're like, oh my God, this doesn't look anything like him. Like with helmet on, it covers half of his face anyway. So it's really not the end of the world. But overall, I think this looks good, guys. I'm glad that Hot Toys adjusted this. I think that this needed a pretty significant update, and it ended up getting one. And it's interesting because this one waitlisted, I think, relatively quickly, just because I think people were so disheartened with the prototype that they were like, fuck it, dude. I'm not getting this Peacemaker. I don't care how good the show was. This figure is ass, and I'm not supporting it. So Hot Toys said, you know what? Let's change things. And they did, and they made it a lot better. So this is one where Hot Toys deserves some kudos. I'm going to give them a round of applause on this one, because they deserve it. They deserve it. They updated this figure. They made it a lot better than what it looked like previously with the prototype. So again, you got to give them credit for listening to criticism, listening to feedback, and improving. That's something that, you know, that's something that we all have to kind of swallow our pride and do sometimes. It's tough. It's tough. It really is. But I'd say that overall, I gotta give it to Hot Toys. They did a good job here. And I think the proportions, yeah, maybe John Cena is slightly bigger than this, but overall, this is satisfying. It's good enough. He's big, right? He looks muscular. He's big. He's a big fucking dude. And I think that it gets that point across with this figure. So I'm happy that they did this. I don't know if this is an all new body for Peacemaker. It very well may be. because I don't really recall seeing a seamless body like this of this sort of proportion from Hot Toys before. Maybe something similar to the Bane one, but the Bane one has a scar on it. That seems like a very custom sort of Fison thing that Hot Toys did. So yeah, not exactly sure. But I think Eagly, yeah, this is pretty cool. That's accessory that's gonna take up a little bit of room, probably just because of the width. But overall, yeah, I think this is pretty dope. I think this is pretty dope, guys. So yeah, this is cool, man. These photos are really great too. Hot Toys get some really good photographers. It looks like You Not Cow. So if I'm not pronouncing your name incorrectly, I am so sorry. But these photos are great, and you should be very proud of them. I think they look really cool. This is a really cool backdrop with Eagly flying like that. This is dope. This is dope. This is some professional shit right here. So yeah, there's some good accessories that come with this figure too. You get the axe, you get the sword, you get the helmet, of course, and that's pretty cool. I mean, honestly, that you can have an additional faceplate of him sort of in a fighting sort of pose without the tongue out, because that would have looked kind of weird if you put him in a pose like this, right? Like he's fighting, he's ready to engage, and he's got his tongue kind of fucking flying around everywhere. So I mean, that's yeah, it wouldn't work. King Shark is a big boy, dude. That is a big boy. This is actually a pretty cool pose right here with King Shark and with Peacemaker and Eagly all sort of like raising their hands like, let's party, bro. This is pretty dope, man. This is a pretty cool pose. I like this. From that angle, it looks really good, actually. From that angle, it looks pretty solid. So maybe if you put your figure maybe with a slight like sort of tilt to him like that, looking to the side, I kind of like to do that with my figures. So, but yeah, it's a little soft maybe in the paint apps, but it could just be lighting. Who knows? But I think overall, it is good. John Cena has some awesome teeth, apparently, because these are very straight, he had braces, clearly. He had braces. But guys, this outfit looks great. The body looks great. I love the updates that Hot Toys did. But yeah, I mean, with Eagly, I'm not exactly sure, to be honest, like whether he has some sort of magnet that you can, get him with Peacemaker like that. It's great that Eagly has that separation where you can have him with the wings out or the wings in. So yeah, he's not going to be an accessory that takes up that much space if you would like to go this route. So I think that is pretty cool. I'm guessing he has swappable wings or something. I honestly don't remember. It's been a really long time. But yeah, I think this Eagly is really cool, man. And Peacemaker's, that looks like it's painful on his wrist. I got to say that looks pretty painful right there. But I will say this figure looks great. And yeah, just don't keep him in this type of pose long term, because when your figure snaps and breaks in half at the joint of the arm, you don't want that. So that's gonna be very unsatisfactory for you as a collector. I don't know, it's super early in the morning, guys. I'm running out of words here. But yeah, I think this looks great. Photos look great. Figure looks great. I think, look, DC, I don't know, man. DC's in a very interesting spot right now, as is Marvel for that matter, and Star Wars for that matter, everything really. But with Peacemaker, it's still going to be part of the new DCEU as far as I'm aware, but it does kind of feel like maybe a slight relic of the past, even though it's apparently not going to be. But right now, people are a little soured on DC. People aren't going to see Blue Beetle. They aren't going to see Black Adam. They aren't really going to see Flash. Yeah, those films did not perform well financially. And I think people have, in a way, kind of given up on the DCEU. But we're going to see what James Gunn does coming in, if he can recapture that magic that DC has experienced from time to time, but just not that consistently. And same's going to have to go with Marvel. They're going to have to recapture that magic as well. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm excited to see this one. I'm not sure if I'm going to pick this up or not for review, but it's definitely a questionable thing. But let me know in the comments below whether you are picking this one up. I think it definitely looks a lot better. I think it came out pretty solid. I think we got to give Hot Toys a little bit of credit on this one. So I'm willing to do that if you guys are. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. And you got swappable faceplates now. It doesn't have to be the tongue out, tongue in, whatever. You have options. And I think that at the end of the day is all we can ask for in regards to a really good likeness too. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace out. See you later. Bye. Bye. See you later. Bye. Where do I end the stream? Okay, Peacemaker. Bye. Bye.